Is goat farming really as tough as people say? Or are there misconceptions that hold back aspiring farmers? If you've ever thought about raising goats but hesitated because of myths you've heard, you're not alone. From being too difficult to goats supposedly eating everything in sight, there are plenty of myths that need busting. In this video, we're going to debunk the most common goat farming myths so you can decide if it's the right venture for you. So without further ado, let's begin. Number 1. Goats eat everything in sight. One of the most popular myths about goats is that they'll eat anything: old shoes, tin cans, and even cardboard. While goats are curious animals, they are not garbage disposals. What actually happens is that goats like to investigate things with their mouths, which can lead to the myth that they eat everything. In reality, goats are quite picky eaters. They prefer to graze on plants like grass, shrubs, and weeds. They especially enjoy browsing, meaning they prefer to eat things that are at or above their eye level. Goats are selective and will often ignore grass if there are tastier plants around. So no, your goat won't eat your car tires, but they'll happily nibble on your rose bushes if given the chance. Number 2. Goats are smelly animals. Many people believe that goats are naturally smelly animals, and this can put off potential farmers. But the truth is that goats don't naturally stink. In fact, female goats, or does, have no strong odor at all. The misconception comes from the male goats, or bucks, who emit a strong smell during mating season to attract females. This smell is unique to bucks during specific times of the year and can easily be managed by separating them from the does. With proper care and regular cleaning of their living space, your goat farm can remain odor-free for most of the year. Number 3. Goats are hard to manage. Some people shy away from goat farming because they've heard that goats are stubborn and difficult to handle. While goats are independent and clever, they are not impossible to manage. They just require good fencing and a little bit of understanding. Goats are notorious for being escape artists, so your fence needs to be tall and secure. They are curious and will test boundaries, but if you provide a proper environment, goats can be easily managed. Many farmers find that once you get to know their personalities and quirks, goats can be affectionate and even cooperative. Number 4. Goats don't need much space. Some believe that goats don't need much space to live happily, but goats are very active animals and require enough room to move, graze, and socialize. A small, cramped pen won't cut it. If you don't provide enough space for them to roam, it can lead to health issues and behavioral problems. Goats need outdoor space to forage and exercise. A rough rule of thumb is at least 250 square feet per goat in a pasture. They also enjoy climbing and exploring, so providing them with rocks or structures to climb can keep them healthy and entertained. Number 5. Goats don't need shelter. Another common misconception is that goats are hardy animals and don't require shelter. While it's true that goats are resilient, they still need a safe and dry place to protect them from the elements. Goats need shelter from rain, wind, and extreme temperatures, as well as protection from predators. A simple barn or shed will work well as long as it's dry, draft-free, and secure. Keep in mind that goats are sensitive to cold and wet conditions, so proper shelter is a must for a healthy herd. Number 6. Goats can be left alone for long periods. This myth leads many to believe that goats are low-maintenance animals that can be left alone for days at a time. However, goats are herd animals and are very social by nature. They do not do well when left alone and can become anxious or even destructive if isolated for too long. If you're planning to get goats, you'll need to have at least 2, as they thrive in groups. Additionally, goats need daily care. Feeding, checking water supplies, and general health inspections are crucial to keeping them happy and healthy. Number 7. Goats don't get sick easily. Some assume that goats are tough animals that rarely get sick, but this is far from the truth. Like any livestock, goats can fall ill if they are not cared for properly. Common health issues in goats include parasites, respiratory infections, and hoof problems. Regular vaccinations, deworming, and hoof trimming are essential to keeping goats healthy. It's important to establish a relationship with a veterinarian who is knowledgeable about goat health to ensure you can address any health issues that may arise. Number 8. All goats produce milk. A common misconception is that all goats can produce milk. However, just like cows, only female goats, that have given birth can produce milk. Male goats, bucks, do not produce milk, and non-pregnant females won't either. Goat milk production varies depending on the breed and how well they are fed and cared for. Some goat breeds, like the Saanen and Alpine, are known for producing large quantities of milk, while others are better suited for meat or fiber production. If you're interested in milk, make sure to choose the right breed. Number 9. Goats are the same as sheep. Many people lump goats and sheep together, thinking they have the same care requirements and behaviors. While goats and sheep are both small ruminants, they are very different animals. For starters, goats are browsers, meaning they prefer to eat leaves, shrubs, and higher-growing plants, while sheep are grazers, preferring grass. Goats are also more independent and curious, whereas sheep tend to stay in herds and follow the leader. Understanding the difference between the two is essential if you plan to raise goats. Number 10. You can feed goats anything. While goats are hardy and can eat a wide variety of plants, this doesn't mean they can eat just anything. Goats have specific dietary needs, and feeding them the wrong foods can lead to health problems. Goats require a diet rich in fiber, primarily from hay or forage. They also need access to fresh water and sometimes mineral supplements to stay healthy. Feeding goats processed or toxic foods like chocolate, avocado, or rhubarb can be dangerous. Always research what's safe for goats to eat before introducing new foods. Number 11. Goat farming is only for large-scale operations. Many believe that goat farming is only profitable on a large scale. While commercial goat farms can be lucrative, smaller, hobby farms can also be successful. Goat farming can be tailored to your needs, whether you want to raise goats for milk, meat, fiber, or even just as pets. With the right planning, even a small-scale goat farm can generate income, and it can also be a rewarding experience for those who love animals and agriculture. Number 12. Goats don't require training or attention. Some new goat farmers assume that goats can be left to their own devices without much attention or training. However, goats benefit greatly from consistent interaction and even basic training. You can train goats to respond to commands, such as coming when called or standing still during milking. Training them can make daily tasks easier and help you build a bond with your goats. Goats are highly intelligent and will appreciate mental stimulation, so spending time with them is essential for their well-being. Now that we've debunked some of the biggest myths about goat farming, you can see that raising goats isn't as hard or strange as it may seem. Whether you're interested in starting a small hobby farm or thinking about going big, goat farming can be a rewarding and profitable experience. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our future farming tips and tricks. Thanks for watching.